Now, a lot of people are saying that this is probably the best moment ever. One of the best moments ever. Well, yes and no. I say it's half of one of the best moments ever in Mushoku Tensei. Because it takes the next episode after this one for it to be a whole, to be complete. Or that it's just this one episode. No, it takes 2 episodes to make this the best moment. One of the best moments in Mushoku Tensei. It's true. But with that being said, us web novel slash light novel readers know what's happening. However, those who are only watching anime, for some reason, didn't get the memo of what's going to happen. You see, I watched Mushoku Tensei from beginning to end, from the opening all the way to even after the ending, the credits scene. And there, it really tells you the next title, the title of the next episode. The title of the next episode literally said, Family Squabble. Family Squabble. And for some reason, I guess people don't watch the credits. I do. I love everything about Mushoku Tensei, so I watched that. So people thought, oh, is Rocky gonna die? Rocky gonna show up? And it's like, no, he didn't meet Rocky. Rocky's somewhere else. And it's just, everyone's just guessing all the wrong things. And no one thought, gee, even when they're showing pictures, like, gee, like, even I could tell, like, come on, it literally looks like Paul, for God's sakes. It's freaking Paul. You know, it's just, anyways, rant and facts aside, let's actually get into the actual episode. I love the hidden gestures that they put into this episode. They do it a lot, you know, where they hint for future events or something that's amiss, like how all this crisis that Rudius went through in this episode could have been avoided if he listened to Geese and went straight to the Adventures Guild. But then again, he thought he saw a kidnapping happen, so that's why that didn't happen. So he should have went straight to the Adventures Guild, and where Geese just stops off before even entering the city of the country of Melis. And speaking of the country of Melis, it has to be one of the most beautiful places in Mushoku Tensei. It really is. Better even than the place that they go to where Eris lives. This is way better. It looks nice, slick, clean. You know, I bet everyone's a freaking snob around there, though. So, in a way, the song that they use for the opening for this one fits very well with the theme and tone when it comes to this kind of country where everyone's religious, high standard, everything is status quo, and plus, they're some of them, most of them are snobs, fucking snobs. Anyways, that being said, I really love how they really orchestrated that the execution of the opening is. It was really nice. Now back to the kidnapping. It wasn't a kidnapping. It was just a giant misunderstanding. Turns out, when Rudius met Paul, and of course Rudius being ridiculous wearing the panties because he didn't want no one to see his disguise, see who he was, so he put on a disguise to fight. And he was fighting the way he was just focused, focused on his opponent, very focused. And how when he finally meets Paul, there seems to be a giant misunderstanding. Paul has high experience in Rudius because the way Rudius is. I feel like Paul didn't really have a chance to really raise Rudius in a way where it was just him already knowing what to do, even more than Paul. So he had high expectations of Rudius, thinking like, okay, if I got this far, Rudius has probably gotten farther. Rudius probably found one of the family members. Because Rudius didn't think about that the teleportation incident that happened. It pretty much swallowed entire Victoria area, you know, where Rudius wants to live, where Eris lives, it's all gone. When I said everything was teleport. Down to the grass was teleported. Down to the ants on the surface was teleported from that incident. And they all went in different places. Some fell from the sky, some landed in the ocean, some landed in dangerous areas. Some even landed in between closed spaces and walls. That's exactly what happened. This incident was a lot more cruel and dangerous than the anime in even the novels let on. A lot of terrible things happen to people. Some are still traumatized even years later on when after it happened. So yeah, very terrible. Now, well, the thing with Paul is that Paul had too much expectations to him, so he felt like, Rudius, why do you think about doing this? Why do you think about doing that? When you are put in a dangerous situation, in your inexperience, you can only focus on a few things. You definitely have a lot on your plate, but you don't know what to do with it because you're inexperienced. When you're experienced, you have a lot on your plate. Even if it is overbearing, you know how to deal with it. You sit out, you look things from an outside perspective, and you gather your information. And think about your possibilities that you can use to get yourself out of this situation. In an experience like Rudy is, despite how smart he is, he can only do so much. Only can think one or two narrow paths. He's pretty smart, so probably 3 or 4, but still not enough. So he didn't think about, well, he was supposed to go to the guild, but he didn't do that because the kidnapping thing happened, like I said. And he was too busy trying to make, repay Richard for his kindness and being a guard by, redeeming his clan. And of course, keeping Eris safe and trying to earn money in order to go on to the next parts of the world. That stuff takes time and it's not easy. However, Paul is drunk and stuff like. I hope they show Paul's perspective. Like I said, this show is all about perspective, and Paul went through some things when he too, as well, was going through this incident. Imagine he's just at home. He's with his family. He's holding Norm, the daughter, and then teleportation doesn't happen. It's just him and her. In the manga, they did a very good way of showing Paul's perspective. Very good, where he's there and he's freaking out, but Norm is also about to freak out. So he has to hide his emotions in order so she won't over freak out. He has to be calm so she can be calm. So he says, "Oh no, Daddy did something silly. The house is gone. Lost family. Don't worry, we'll gather it all back." He's just doing a joke. Saying, "Oh, he messed up and stuff," because he's used to having people say he messed up. So he did that because people are used to him messing up. At least they can get themselves out of the situation. So he's there, and he goes back to his area, his village. Knows everything is gone. So this is where he really freaks out, and then he goes and he films this party that finds the people, and some of these people was put into slavery. Like the person they just really thought he was trying to rescue, they were literally put into slavery. But Paul are the people who are trying to help them break them out of slavery. Like I said, big misunderstanding. So I really hope they do a perspective of Paul. And what happened towards the end was just sad. It's just everyone's just going through things. Really thought he was doing a good job. He was looking for his family reunion where he would say, "You did well for you. I'm proud of you. Now let's work together to find the rest of our family." But instead, it just ended up being a brawl of clash of emotions and stuff and disdain, and it was just terrible. And now even Norm disdains him too. It's terrible, man. It's terrible all around. So he goes, he's trying to, think maturely about the situation, but he feels like, no, he screwed up, man. And now he threw up. He threw up. He felt bad about the situation. I understand that. It's just terrible. Poor Rudy's. And of course, Aries comes and I love, this will be a trait you'll see with Aries if they continue with the show, which they will. Aries can just tell immediately when someone messes with Rudius. She can just tell. And it happens over in one chapter, future into the thing, and she walks home, she looks out, and she's like, "Who bullied you? Who bullied you?" Who bullied you? You just tell by the way he looks at something's wrong with him. And she always thinks someone's messing with him. But someone is always messing with him in a way, so she can't stand someone's messing with him. And so she tried to think what she do to comfort him, and all she did is hug him, saying she is here for him. And by the way, speaking of Eris, last thing I want to touch on is Eris went on quite an adventure herself. When she went to go slay goblins and Rudy's having that goblin slayer image in his mind. Classic. Eris actually met 3 important people as she went goblin slaying. She had a companion partner to help her slay the goblins, and then she rescued 2 people who have a key role into the story as well. So there's that as well. And I believe Oh wait, another thing. Where Eris in the the novels, Eris actually, and when she was doing her perspective, she actually admitted she was actually planning to kill Paul. She was actually admitted that and stuff, but Ruger stopped her. Not just in that room, but another time as well. That she wanted to kill him, for making him look so miserable after everything he went through. So, of course, Eris is literally like a dog. You don't hurt her master, okay? You don't hurt the person she cares about the most. That's how it is. So, yeah, baby. Good, like I said, a good episode. It just goes by so fast. And that's what happens when you're watching good anime. It goes by fast. You're just consuming it like, oh wow, it's nice, and then it's gone, and then you need more. Well, anyway, speaking of that, the English dub is out for those who like English dub. I guess you guys can watch that. I guess. So anyway, so like that first vid. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and have a happy Halloween. This has been Macrown on Anime. Signing out.